Good morning, good morning. Oh my gosh, I know. The title of today's video is a little bit crazy, it's a little bit interesting, but here's the thing. So many entrepreneurs end up divorced. And and that's, it doesn't have to be that way. And I wanted to just talk about that today because it's such a unspoken about subject. It's something that a lot of entrepreneurs just take as part and parcel of being in business, that, certain things are going to suffer and my relationship may suffer or life is going to suffer. And that is the thing. That is not the case. That shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the norm that people sacrifice their marriages, because that is not what it's designed to be. Nobody goes, think about it. You don't go into an entrepreneurship wanting to lose, wanting to lose your marriage, or wanting to place yourself in a position where trying to figure things out on your own. And that's the thing. I honestly just want to spend this morning, like, let's just debunk it. Let's debunk the myths. Let's just break it down. Okay. So I decided to go live and talk about it, because you know what? No more gatekeeping. We're not gatekeeping this information. So let me tell you this. So there are three. So I've actually got some. I've got notes written down. Okay. So there are three simple myths, and if you just change the way you approach these things, you just change the way you look at them, you are gonna, like, honestly see a difference in your marriage. You're gonna see things differently as an entrepreneur. You're going to approach things differently as an entrepreneur. Okay, so you're probably going, okay, so what is those three myths? Like, what is it that I'm doing that going to figure that out? Before I get started, if you knew and you don't know who I am, I'm Cindy, and I'm a marriage coach, and I help entrepreneurs actually have the best relationship, have the best marriage they can, because so many entrepreneurs end up in divorce, and I don't want that for you. I don't want that for entrepreneurs, because that's just not the game. That's just not the way of things. So the number one thing is communication. The most common myth is communication is talking. Communication is not just talking. And the biggest thing that I find and that you see out there is the assumption that communication has happening, is the assumption that your partner understands the part that because you're in business or they in business, that there's a mutual understanding. There's an assumption that there's a mutual understanding, and that is taken as that is communication, when that is far from the truth. Communication is a two-way street. It's not just a one-way street. It takes two people to be involved in communication. So both of you need to know that you're actually doing it, specifically in a relationship, if you want your relationship to last. Obviously, there is different forms of communication as well. So you've got to balance that out, but for the most part, um the biggest failing that I see time and time again is the assumption that communication has happened. It's the assumption um that we've spoken about it, like we're good, like we've discussed this, we've talked about it, and so we're fine, when in actual fact nobody's discussed it. It hasn't been spoken about. You spoke about it, like you spoke at your partner, you spoke at your spouse, but you didn't actually sit down and actually communicate effectively. And communicating effectively is actually two people coming together with an openness, a willingness to listen, a willingness to speak, and actually discussing things. And then that obviously leads to other forms of communication, hidden forms of communication, where people, the way you talk, the way you present yourself is another form of communication. So, what is the second? So, the second myth the second myth that a lot of entrepreneurs fall into, the trap that they fall into, is your business, not theirs. Where you go into thinking it is my business, it is mine. I'm gonna do this, and this is what I'm doing, and I'm a coach, or I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm a business owner, or I'm a brick and mortar, and it's all about you. You focus on your business and you doing this and the way you're doing this and da 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 da. But here's the thing: when you're married, you're in union together. You're connected. It's a covenant together. It's a coming together. God brought you together. When you join that, you're joined together to become one. And the Bible speaks a lot about that, where two unities come together, right? Scripture also says two heads are better than one, come together. And here's another thing: with two more present, I am there. So hello, if you want to have God in your business, like, involve your partner, okay? Anyway, but here's the thing: stop thinking about the business as just yourself. It is never just you. You married this person to do life together with you, to do everything together with you, to grow old together, to raise a family together. So why would you not allow them in one area of your life? Why would you segregate them from one part of your life? That is just crazy, because they are there to help you. They are there to unload, to help you alleviate the burden, to do life with you. So allow them to do life with you. Allow them to actually step into that sphere. Allow them to actually just lessen the burden on you, because at the end of the day, it is their business as well. Whether you like it or not, it is their business health. What happens in that business affects them as well. If that business goes down, it affects them as well. If that business thrives, it affects them as well. So it's not just your business, it's their business as well. So start treating it that. Start involving them in the business. Start encouraging them in that business as well, okay? Because don't just think of this as a one-man band show that is just you. Do it with your spouse. Okay. The third thing, and the most one of the most common thing that people think of is time is money. Time is not money. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. You know, time is honestly more valuable. You can always make back money. You can never buy back time. Like, try buy back the last 10 years. Try buy back the last 2 years. We all know what happened in the last 2 years. It's been crazy. And, so many things shifted. But try buy back their time. You can't. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You can never buy back that time. So stop looking at your business saying, okay, no, I'm just going to do this and do this, and you're just gonna like, I'm gonna just, I've got to spend my time on this and focus on this and get to this and da 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 da. No, you can never get back. Use your business to buy back your time. Use your business to allow other people to step in. So, for example, if you are doing everything in your business, get yourself to a stage where you can actually pay for a VA. You can pay for a personal assistant. You can pay for somebody to do your copy. You can pay for somebody to do, so many things. Take it off. And that is why you're in entrepreneurship, to give you more freedom. Yes, to impart knowledge, yes, to help other people, but you cannot do it at the expense of your own family. Because here's the thing, it's such a like this martyr thing to do, going, yeah, I know that, that was my first marriage, but like, look how many people I've helped, and that's all wonderful, but you sacrificed something so precious that God has given you. And yes, God has given us all this ability, this calling to be entrepreneurs, to serve and be of servitude. But the first covenant is within your own house. Minister in your house first before you minister out there. Minister in your house before you minister out there. Because if your house is not rock solid, if your foundation is not solid, how can you minister out there when in home it's on shaky grounds? Because all that you're doing is you setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up where you're going to be in a place where you have to choose. You're going to have to choose between your life, your family, and your business. And a lot of times I see entrepreneurs choosing their business because they think, well, this is the thing, this is the baby that I've built it for so many years, and I can, I can always get another partner. I'm going to say this to you. You can always get another business. You can always make more money. If you've learned how to make money, you can make more money. You cannot replace your kids. You cannot replace time with your kids. You cannot replace that unit, that security. Yes, I'm not saying like stay in marriages that are terrible and these things around that. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about just investing in that marriage. Because here's the thing, you get to have both. You get to have a thriving marriage. And I'm telling you now, a thriving marriage leads to a thriving business. And I'm going to say that again, just for the ones in the back. A thriving marriage leads to a thriving business, because when that marriage is thriving, when everything, all those cogs are moving, you're in a space where you can be creative. You're in a space where you can actually just go out there and just enjoy life. And I remember listening, I was thinking about this now. I was listening to this YouTuber, and he was hitchhiking. Well, not hitchhiking, I should say. He was seeing if he can get a look at a private jet or get a ride on a private jet. And like, just like go, and he happened to get a ride with this guy called James, and he's actually a billionaire. And James was talking, and they said, any regrets or things in that in your life, and what are you doing? And James is, he's so nice, but he says, my first marriage. And when he said that word, my first marriage, you could see just the heaviness in him. And he said, I wish I'd learned then to prioritize my marriage because I can always get back the money because you take away my jet, you take away anything, I can get that back easy. I've learned the skills, I've learned how to make money, but I can't get back that time with my family. I cannot get back that. I wish I had. And this is the thing that he said that stuck with me. He said, I would have given everything at the time to just correct that situation. And and this is the thing. This is why I'm like, we're not gatekeeping this anymore. We're not keeping this silent. We're not sweeping this under the rug because there's so many like high level entrepreneurs that everybody knows that their marriage went down the drain, or busy circling the drain. And we're like, let's stop gatekeeping this. Let's talk about this because here's the thing: you get to have it both. There is just things that you need to look at and implement that sometimes we do have blinders on, and it takes an outside person to show us, hey, we've got blinders in our relationship and we need to actually just look at these aspects and look at these things. So as we're saying, communication is not just talking. Like, look at it properly. Communication is just not talking, right? And it's not just your business, it's their business as well. It's their business. They in business with you, whether they're physically sitting in that business as well, that's one thing, but they are in that business with you. And the third thing, time is thinking that time is money. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. You cannot get back time, right? You can't get back the time with your kids. You can't get back those milestone moments. What do you have to show for it? Oh, I've got milestone moments in my business. Everybody has milestone moments in their business. Everybody has those 10K, 20K, 30K, or launching a new program or writing a book or opening up a store. Everybody has that. All entrepreneurs have that. What a lot of them don't have is those milestone moments because they've missed it. You miss those first moments. Yes, you can say everybody has those milestone moments with their kids and family. Yeah, they don't have it exactly the same. They don't have your child. They do not have your child. They don't have the progression in your child. They don't have that progression in their relationship. Because what you end up doing is if you keep down this path, you're going to end up watching your relationship, watching your marriage as a bystander and not as somebody that's inside of it. And I don't want that from you. I want you to just fully have the most amazing relationship. And I say this because I've been married for 17 years now, 4 kids later, 17 years. And it's truly amazing, but it's something that I've learned over time, and I've learned how to actually have a thriving relationship, have a thriving a marriage and business. But it all comes down to actually understanding what it is to actually be in that relationship. And one thing I want to leave you with, and the one thing that's key, is the communication. Communication is the most vital thing. You need to both be in agreement. You both need to understand that, hey, we are communicating. And so I want to leave you with this one thing before I go for this morning, because um also before I go, if you like this, enjoy this, I'm going to be going live 6 days a week, not 7 days, because I need a day off. I need a Sabbath. We need a Sabbath off, right? 6 days a week, I will be going live, just sharing relationships, relationship advice. If you want to like be in the know, in the hook, like make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below so that you don't miss it. And if you're watching this live on the replay, hashtag replay, and just like let me know in the comments what you found enjoyable, what you found interesting, and what else you'd like me to go over and give you more clarity on. Okay. But what I'm going to say to you with communication, here is a win that you can do in your communication. Schedule talks, schedule arguments, schedule discussions, and say, hey, I would like to discuss this with you. When is a good time? And actually sit down and actually discuss that with your partner, because when you do, you're going to see your relationship shift because you are scheduling time to communicate. You're scheduling time to talk instead of just being two people, bystanders, going past each other, like screaming at each other, going, "Ah, I told you this," or whatever. Actually schedule time to talk and actually make it a valuable time. Okay, with that, love you all, have a lovely day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.